maybe you could describe briefly the hands-on piece, and somehow this totality of the Feldenkrais work through movement. I mean, that seems like a hard, through movement, through inquiry, through questioning, it seems like a hard sell about how that yields to maturation.
Yeah. And it is hard to put into words. It's very hard to put into words, which is why, again, it's necessary to draw people in, with promises of less back pain, with promises of being able to garden more and better and easier, with promises of being able to learn physical movement and to deal with injury, recover from injury. All of those things are good results from our method. Where I send my own students is to a read of Feldenkrais's chapter in the book Awareness Through Movement called Where to Begin and How, where he describes in still quite simple terms, and in fact somewhat simplistic terms, but a little bit more complicated than you can put on a brochure or on a selling piece, why he chose to work with people through sensation, and why he chose to work with people through very often at the moment when intention is formed, in the moment between intention forming and the initiation of that intention into movement or action in the world. By taking us into an unfamiliar, at least an uncommon relationship with gravity, where gravity is no longer reinforcing sort of all the learning that we've done up to the present time of how to stand and how to sit and to conduct ourselves in gravity, a process that we learn before we know how to speak, a process that we learn well under the extreme inundation of the formation and the demands of our family system and so on how we should behave, what we should do, what we shouldn't do, what will be rewarded implicitly, what will be turned away from implicitly, what will be punished explicitly. All of those things Feldenkrais felt we carried with us because we were dealing at that stage of development with essentially the infamous tabula rasa, the blank page. We had all the biological maturation that stimulated us to come up from the horizontal into sitting, into standing, into walking. We had all of that biological impetus to do so. And then we were in a value-free, a situation where we were then subject to the values and the pressures and the encouragements and the positiveness and the negativity of whatever situation we happen to grow up in. These things become inextricably linked by association. The largest part is quite clear from studies in psychology that the largest part of our brain is devoted to association, which is just another way of saying of learning. And we learn by associating one thing with another thing. And this goes on all the time. And the smallest part of it is what we know about. The smallest part of it is that which we can recognize. The smallest part is that which we study. Smallest part is that which we think about cognitively. And the largest part has formed, without words, is the bedrock and the richest matrix of our habits. All with cross-referencing between what we need to do to be able to sit and stand and walk and under what conditions we live.